The MPCA has found 5 trout streams in Duluth-area have excess chloride, making them toxic to fish and other aquatic organisms.
Yeah, Northern News Now, Sophia Lauber learned more about the problem and the path forward today. Sophia, where is this chloride coming from?
Lauren, Dan, it can come from a number of household, industrial, and agricultural sources, including de-icing salt, which is commonly used here on roads and sidewalks in the winter. Those at the MPCA say turning things around for these 5 creeks is going to take a team effort. According to the MPCA, the largest source of chloride in urban areas is road salt, putting those maintaining the roads in northern Minnesota in a tricky spot.
So the county's goal when it comes to road salt management is to find that sweet spot between providing for the safest roads we can for the traveling public and minimizing environmental damage.
St. Louis County has already been walking that line for years, investing in new technology that's helped them cut their usage from 21,000 tons of salt a year to 13. While they'll continue fine-tuning operations, MPCA leaders say everyone has a role to play when it comes to chloride levels in Kingsbury, Keene, Miller, Chester, and Tisher creeks.
Things like city, counties, and the state, they have a pretty good handle on how much salt products that they're using a year, and that's kind of an unknown is what those private property management companies are using.
In addition to salt, dust suppressants applied to gravel roads, water softeners, some fertilizers, and septic systems can all also add to chloride levels.
Whatever you use or put on your lawn or on your sidewalk, or what you don't pick up in your yard, such as, animal waste, they all have a potential impact on the environment.
And even when it comes to how much salt the county uses, leaders say a little patience from the public could go a long way.
If people could leave 5 minutes earlier, plan for more time, slow down when we have, snow and ice on the roads, that would also help reduce the amount of chlorides we use.
Once the study is finalized, nearby entities with stormwater permits from the MPCA will have to submit action plans to help lower chloride levels to thresholds established by the study. That includes Duluth, neighboring cities like Hermantown, Proctor, St. Louis County, and even UMD. Live in studio, Sophia Lauber, Northern News Now.
Thank you, Sophia. Now, right now, this study is open to the public for comment. From there, it will then go to the EPA for review and approval. By the way, MPCA spokespeople say excess chloride is not harmful to humans.